Yesterday, head of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, was going before Congress, and he received incredibly harsh questioning about a number of different topics involved in Facebook's leadership, who they're partnering with, and all of that. AOC in particular had some tough questions for Zuckerberg, especially around this topic of how much fact-checking will Facebook do, and how much will they allow politicians to get away with. Here's a little bit of that.
Would I be able to run advertisements on Facebook targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted for the Green New Deal? I mean, if you're not fact-checking political advertisements, I'm just trying to understand the bounds here. What's fair game?
I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. I think
so. You don't know if I'll be able to do that.
I think probably.
Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact-checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad. That's different from it being for in our position, the right thing to do to prevent your constituents or people in an election from seeing that you had lied.
So it's an amazing question, and I love his response. Well, I think lying is bad, just not as bad as being unprofitable. Because of course, it's not like he or Facebook is just some sort of like, we're just sitting by and we're watching this and I don't want to get involved. They're involved. They're getting paid for these advertisements. And so when you pretend to have a principle, but you're getting paid behind that principle, I think a reasonable person gets to question whether or not you're actually in it for the principle or whether you're in it for the paycheck that you're cashing to spread disinformation, even at the cost, not the hypothetical cost. We already know the effect that this can have, the cost of potentially swinging an election. I mean, think about how much disinformation, willful lies there were in the 2016 election on Facebook. And now their response after years of serious study is, we don't want to get involved. And if there's known lies, we don't care. Because what she said right there was not, what if I ran an ad that said that in a Republican primary, one candidate was dumb? Or doesn't have a good enough connection with their family. These sorts of like opinion things or exaggeration things. She stated a very specific verifiable fact. Did this person vote for the Green New Deal or did they not vote for the Green New Deal? And he confirmed, yes, you would probably be fine with that. And he says probably, which makes it seem as if not necessarily, but based on everything else he has said, including more that we're gonna show you in this video, yeah, AOC could just do that. She could tank any Republican she wants to tank their numbers by making it seem as if they support whatever. Let's say, what if Adam Schiff ran an ad saying that a Republican was a member of the Democratic Socialists of America or whatever? You could just do it. Doesn't matter, Facebook's not gonna get involved. They think that free speech is important. I mean, they don't like lying or anything, but they're not gonna get involved with actual fact checking. And again, everyone who defends this, including Mark Zuckerberg, are going to say this is about free speech. And it's not on us to decide if something is technically true or not. She gave an incredibly specific, verifiable fact. Did this thing happen or did it not happen? It's on the official record. You can go check it. They choose not to and they get paid. But just to make sure, she gave him an opportunity to realize how ridiculous he was being. Let's see if he took the bait.
So you won't take down lies or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
Congresswoman,
I'm not talking about spin, I'm talking about actual
yes, in most cases, in a democracy, okay. I believe that people should be able to see for themselves what politicians that they may or may not vote for
so
are
you
saying,
won't take them
judge their
down.
Character for themselves.
So you won't take, you may flag that it's wrong, but you won't take it down.
Congresswoman, it depends on the context that it shows up, organic post, ads, right. The treatment is a little bit different.
Question.
Okay, so no, they're not going to. The organic ads, no, they're not going to. They don't care. They're not interested. I think that it's on the people to decide if what I am being paid to tell them is true is true. You don't think that Facebook running a paid advertisement from an elected politician in the US government doesn't give it some sort of air of authenticity? People aren't going to believe what they see online. Like I grew up believing great things about the potential for humanity and what they could accomplish. And most of that has been proven to be untrue as I've gotten older. Here's the thing, people believe what they read online. The older they are, the more they believe about what they see. Donald Trump is not going to exploit this at some point in the future. He is already spending countless millions of dollars in Facebook specific advertisements because he knows that the predominantly older audience that's on Facebook believes what they see and votes based on it. And right now, it's stuff attacking the Democrats. It's not as horrible as it could be. He could start to really stretch the bounds of that. I mean, if Zuckerberg is saying that we're not gonna fact check what politicians say, do you think that he's gonna be more or less willing to fact check the president of the United States? Especially in an environment where he's having meetings with conservatives like Tucker Carlson and others about supposed bias against right-wingers on that site. Do you think he's gonna take a stand against the president? If Trump starts spreading on Facebook advertisements the sort of conspiracy theories that he casually mentions in Chopper Talk, do you think that they're gonna take those down? Do you especially think they're gonna take those down if they're making millions of dollars a week to keep them up? No, nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that at all. And the thing is, Mark Zuckerberg wants to pretend that he's just still has this like fun social media site, and it's really not on him. No, they have made very specific choices during the history of Facebook to try to accrue as much power as they possibly can. And as mind-boggling as it might be, they have been successful in that. And although it sucks that we're in a position where any social media site, let alone Facebook, could be helping to influence the way a federal election, an election for president goes, that's where we're at. That's what we've got right now. And until we convince more people to leave Facebook, that's where we're gonna be. And so their policy towards advertisements by politicians, by fact checking, is incredibly important. There is little that could be more important. And so great credit to AOC for doing the harsh questioning that she did. This needs to be just the beginning though, not the end of the pressure that's put on Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook to change this horrendous policy. Because again, we've said this a million times, but I'll say it again. If one side is willing to lie and the other side isn't, then a system that is agnostic to the truth has chosen a side, and it's with the liars. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.